Welcome to today's training on a Minnesota client monitoring visit for senior living matrix. Today we're going to learn how to properly do a client monitoring visit, whether it's a 14, 90-day or change of condition for Minnesota. You'll notice we have a nice checklist that's available in eSource under housing in your AL assisted living toolkit, or under the Matrix Care videos and learning. Today we're going to review how does it look to go in and do that 14-day, 90-day, or change of condition in senior living. Of course, we first want to review the residence charts, current service plan, make sure they have a bed rail consent, make sure they have a post or a healthcare directive. We want to check that chart to make sure everything is there, that we've given them the consent. We also want to talk with staff to see if there's been any changes that they notice reviewing those services. I'm going to look at their clinical notes. I'm going to go check their scheduled services, talked about the aides if those are still appropriate. And then I'm going to make sure that the team knows when I'm going in to see the residents so we can discuss their services with them at this time. I would really like to watch a delegated task if possible, more of an eye drop, a blood glucose, maybe a Hoyer lift, easy stand, anything that's kind of out of the norm. While I go see the resident, we're going to discuss their services. I want to make sure that they're appropriately being done. If there's any concerns that the resident has, any wishes for time changes or day changes and scheduling, make sure all that looks good. I'm going to check in the apartment for any medications that I see around the room. If we're managing meds, do I see any on the floor in inappropriate places? Talk to them about why they're there. If they need assistance with that part of scheduling, is it safe? I want to make a review of all their vital signs and weights, making sure there hasn't been any significant changes. If they're on any kind of OT, PT, speech therapy, I want to make sure I'm reading those notes. I want to call the family and update them either before my visit or after my visit, depending, are they memory care or are they pretty independent? I'm going to document all my concerns per our policy and our concern forms. I'm going to then, when I'm done with my visit, I'm going to go to the clinical and I'm going to open up a new evaluation and complete that for my 90, 14 or change of condition. Of course, after we're completing it, we're going to send it for approval and finalize it. And then I can go to the service plan again and print that final service plan after I finalized it. I do have to have a signature from the POA or the family member along with a staff signature. I have to send a copy to billing for making the change under Matrix Care, make sure that we're always having the right level. And then we want to upload it into the chart or put it into the paper chart if you're still using that. So let's go ahead and go over to senior living and start a new evaluation. So we're going to say it's Ruth Holbert's 14-day, and we're going to hit new. Now we can select one to copy over because we've already done an evaluation on her, so we don't lose any of our information. So we want to select existing evaluation to copy. I most likely will take the most recent, which will be on the top. I will hit save. It will now open up a new evaluation for me, and what we're going to concentrate on is this first section called client monitoring. This is our actual visit, which does not go to the service plan. This is just about the visit. So then we're going to say what visit it is. We won't do this with initials because we don't need to visit a person. We've already done our pre-assessment. And it does say under here to observe a delegated task with the RA. So that's really important. That's what the health department will look for, is did we do any observations? So you're going to pick which one it is, 1490 or change of condition. When you pick these, you do not have to make a note if it's just routine. The nice thing about the notes is if it is a change of condition, you can write why it's a change of condition. You can put dates in there, whether it's a hospital return, because it's helpful for the next time you do your evaluation to know why it was done last time. And maybe it's that they had multiple falls. And so now I know that I need to kind of look at that. The observation or discussion of all the services provided, we want to indicate which ones were services were observed or discussed. So it is helpful to put notes in these areas, and you do want to check all areas. So if I check dressing, I want to write what their current services are. If they don't have any services, you can say that they're independent. No concerns noted, because while I was in the room, I don't notice any dressing inappropriately. You're really making those observations. For grooming, we're going to go ahead and click grooming, and maybe we discuss this service. I can take this out, and maybe she's independent here also. Groomed appropriately, because now on my next visit, if I see that her hair's a little messy or she's just not looking quite as nice, I can say, oh, she's independent, but maybe she needs us to discuss, maybe she needs a little help in the morning. Again, if we pick bathing, are they independent? Does she have services? So maybe we assist with a bath 2 times a week. We can make notes about no concerns, no changes with the service plan, whatever it is, we can make those notes here. Toileting, again, you're talking to them about, are they independent? Do they have problems with incontinence? Any changes since your last assessment? But maybe they manage their own incontinence. Maybe we order products from case manager. So you can put details in here to help us know this person. Remember, these questions do not go to the service plan. This is just the visit, this whole first section. Housekeeping, again, do they have any concerns? Is it weekly? So maybe they have weekly housekeeping. Would like it on Tuesdays. So now we know that maybe we need to talk to the housing manager and, confirm that she would like it a different day. Laundry, maybe they're independent with laundry, no services. You need to just indicate what we're doing for them. Are they on medication administration services? Do we manage meds? They're either independent, no services. Do we set them up, but they self-administer? Again, it's just reviewing. Did I see meds laying around the apartment, but they're not ready for med management services? Did I communicate that to the family? I want to look around and see if there's side rails on the bed. I don't see anything, but we need to just make sure that we've done our part. And then, is the environment safe and clean? We just need to say yes or no. If it's no, we want to say why it's no. We want to make sure they're pleased with their services. So we say yes or no. We want to explain. We want to know that the service plan has been reviewed. The service plan actually starts under cognition and goes through all the questions. So of course, we're going to review the service plans. So we say yes. Is it updated? I can answer the question now, or I can come back and answer it after I've done all my assessments questions. Is the VA abuse prevention plan reviewed? Again, that is right in our questions here under vulnerable adults. So of course, we'll review that. And were there changes? I can either say no right now, or as I go through it, I could skip down here and go through my questions and make sure that they're still oriented, select areas that are vulnerable. So she's able to report concerns. She's got a good environment, but if it wasn't today, I might say, I need to watch that. So you're going through these vulnerabilities to make sure that they're all appropriate still. Once I'm done with these questions, the whole 90-day review is done. I need to go through my areas now that have been addressed here, and I can make my changes. And so maybe that's not appropriate anymore. So I'm going to review all these changes, and we have another webinar that you can watch to actually go through each question. Once we are done with all the questions, we have all the forms. We'll have another webinar for filling out certain forms, but again, we would want to review this and make sure that we have all our forms done. They will turn red or green, I'm sorry, green when they're completed. And then once we've completed these forms, we can go ahead and finalize the service plan. So I'm going to go ahead and have my forms turn green. And now my visit has been done. I've reviewed all my services. I reviewed all my forms. I went into each one and reviewed them, knowing that the assessment for med management only has to be done yearly. I can just now write that it was a routine monitoring. It's not due yet. I do like to put in the date of my med management when I did it, so I know if it's due yet. It's only May, so I know I don't have to do an annual. And then I go ahead and X out and let it refresh. And then I want to go ahead and send for my approvals. And again, when we send for approvals, we're building the service plan. I'm going to go ahead and finalize this. It was a change of condition. So I'm going to finalize that. And it's important picking which type we're doing because that will set the next day due. So if I hit it's a reassessment, it will now reset for 90 days. And now it says it's finalized. So now I'm going to go back to my evaluations. I'm going to know that now it's a level 6 where she had been a level 7. I'm going to come here and do my service plan. I'm going to notice that Ruth has an in-progress service plan. She still has an active service plan from the previous evaluation, but this one is in progress. I will now highlight it. I will finalize this. There's another video where we can show you how to modify or open a new service plan for changes. I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to print the service plan with schedule. Again, printing the service plan and filling out the appropriate levels So I know she's a level 6 at 118. I know she was a change because I made some changes. After I print, I will pick level 6, which was 118 was the points. So I know it's 118, this one, 3,300. I will have the family make sure they fill out their 2 emergency contacts. It can be from the face sheet, but maybe not. But right now, this is still an MDH rule, and I am waiting to see if that will change this August. And then you will sign it. I will either scan this over to billing or hand it to billing, whoever does your billing, because they need to make sure that they get the appropriate level into Matrix. Again, all this is editable. If you want me to edit anything in here, you can let Linda Johnson know. Once that's done, you have now completed your 1490 or your change of condition. Thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you on another video.